Hello and welcome, Kerry and Jen and Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson here from
We're
Healing
here.
Humanity and drkiltz.com. And today we're thankful, grateful, blessed. We wanted to do a live stream together. We got some big announcements, and we want to talk about Carnivore Wins, our Carnivore Wins, your Carnivore Wins, and answer any questions that you guys have. So maybe we'll do a quick little giveaway to get some comments going. How about we give away a healing? I've got my Dr. Kiltz hat on. Kiltz Mighty Tribe. We'll give away a Healing Humanity shirt here. So leave your best question or comment. Like, what is your biggest carnivore win? And if you use hashtag ribeye, we will do a random drawing for a Healing Humanity shirt. As you see there on the screen, although I think it's going to be in black color. So I'll get that going here in the background. Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, how are you two doing?
Awesome.
Fantastic.
I got to get rid of this. I love your background. It looks incredible.
The boys, Johnny, CJ put it together, and then we have our mascot, Dr. Nelson Jr. and also our carnivore on air. So we're having fun with all this stuff. Gotta have fun. That's the most important part of carnivore. If you're not having fun, you're not really into it the way we could all be.
You know, Dr. Kiltz, some of the best advice I ever got was at a moment where I wasn't having fun. I was extremely nervous, and it was the first time I went to speak in front of a large crowd, and that was at Hack Your Health. And the first person I talked to before I went up and spoke was you, Dr. Kiltz, and I said, do you have any advice for me before I go up there with my teeth chattering, speaking in front of this huge group of people? And you looked at me and you said, have fun, fun, just go have fun. And I did. I had so much fun. In fact, by the time it was done, I'm like, I want to do this again and again and again. This was a lot of fun. So,
and you've been doing it, and you're inspiring so many people to jump in, join in, and have fun with this craziness.
Well, I got to give credit where due, though. A large part of that is because of you, Dr. Kiltz. You have been absolutely incredible, one of the biggest supporters of this documentary. I was trying to think, Dr. Kiltz, like, how many of these meetups and times speaking in front of a group have we done now? And I've lost track. I know it's over a dozen, and you've been at many of them, and it's been incredible. It feels like it's turning into like a movement. The more we're going, it keeps growing. It's really exciting because I think it also shows that eating this way and returning to what is natural is also growing.
And I feel like I'm being cheated on if you're doing a meetup and I'm not there. I just let you know, right?
Right?
Right.
Well, I'm thankful that is very rare because we've been together at most of them, right? You came all the way out to the UK one, which was so nice of you and was awesome. Everyone was so happy to see you there. And the most recent one we did in Canada, which I'm hoping we can do that one annually. Dwight was so excited. Everyone was so excited. I can't believe it, too, because that was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And we got a really good turnout of people coming out to that one. So looking forward to doing more of those. Yeah. But before we go in, I know we got a bunch of people jumping on here. In order to win the Healing Humanity shirt in blue, you got to make sure you're subscribed to Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson, and we're going to do a random drawing, hashtag ribeye. You have to post in the comments what is your biggest carnivore win or your question. But before we get into those questions, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, we've got an announcement. We've got a big thing coming up, speaking of meetups. There we go. Yeah. Seattle, Washington, in 4 days. Are you guys ready for
almost a double picture of me?
Dr. Nelson's twin is going to be at our Seattle, Washington meetup. It's from 10 a.m. to 2. And if you want to go, there's still a couple tickets left. There is a link in the description below, healinghumanity.movie/events. Or you can go to drkiltz.com. Right on the homepage, Dr. Kiltz has all of the meetups. And this is going to be a heck of a meetup. I'm looking forward to this. Dr. Kiltz is going to be there.
Right there in the center. Dr. Baker is going to be there. So
we're all really going for Dr. Baker because he's a rock star in a community, is a leader. And if we need a cartoon character that is our hero, it's Dr. Baker, who who's genuine, caring, and the last I looked, I think you can lift him up, can't you?
Barely. He can lift me up though. And speaking of a cartoon character hero, I actually have a slide for this, Dr. Kiltz. So Dr. Baker is the real life Mr. Incredible, and here's what I mean.
Yes.
When they do a live action remake of that animation, The Incredibles, Dr. Baker would definitely have to play Mr. Incredible himself. So there you go. We're heading out there to film. This is a thing. The title of the video is Carnivore Wins. This is the biggest win that I can share. We are heading out there to film Dr. Baker, Anthony Haydick, Lynn, Midlife Carnivore, and Stephen Lashbrook. And after we're done filming those individuals that I just mentioned, it is a huge milestone because we will be 100% done filming for the main Healing Humanity documentary. No more filming after that. We're going to continue filming for the series, but we're done filming for the documentary after almost 2 years and 54 interviews. We will be wrapping it up in 1 week, which I'm so excited for. So,
and it's always getting ready for the next movie. Where is the premiere of Healing Humanity movie going to be at? That we all must be there.
The premiere will be at the world famous Montello Theater, population 1,400, Montello, Wisconsin. But after that, I'm really, I don't know how many more meetups Dr. Kiltz is ready to do, but I am prepared to travel all around the country. I want to go to every little small town movie theater and premiere it at these little independent movie theaters. I'm so excited for the documentary just because it's not about me. It's bigger than me, but it's about what we're doing different than other documentaries. There's a lot of great documentaries out there, many that have been done on keto diets. But what I think sets ours apart is ours is really about the individual story, the hero's journey. And the stories in here are, every time I hear one of these stories of healing, someone getting a second chance at life, it's just more powerful than the last one. And I think it's really going to inspire a lot of people. Jeff's story and Bill's story, Maggie's story. There's literally, we got 40 of them. Not all of them are going to be prominent in the documentary. Some of them will just be in the series. But I'm really excited to share all of that with the world. So I gotta mention one other thing. We've got, if you can't make it to Washington, you guys have to go to drkiltz.com. Right on his homepage, he's got all of the upcoming meetups. And the other big one I'm really excited for, June 28th. That's this month, June 28th. Professor Thomas Seyfried, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, Dr. Nelson, Adam, and our friend Diane, who came to our other meetup. She's been to 2 meetups now. That's in Boston. And you can register for that it's drkiltz.com, or do you have another page set up for that?
KiltzMeetup.com.
Dr. Kiltz Meetup.
Both ways you can get the same place.
Yeah.
I think the other prize is going to be those that have been to the most meetups. And it can't be Dr. Kiltz or Dr. Nelson. It really has to be another special star, which ultimately what you're saying is that each and every one of us is a special star that's part of Healing Humanity. This term famous is really each and every one of us is there to share the power of healing humanity. Although you're bringing many of those that have been prominent in the carnivore space, it's each and every human being. And as you've always said, it's the stories that matter. And I look at it as biblical stories. Really, this is a new Bible for healing humanity, individual stories that we can all look at and read through. So you work on the movie, and we'll work on the books, and I guess then we need Noah's Ark to invite us all to be part of that.
Yes, right. Together as a community, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it all done, though. I'm excited. Yeah. There's been so many stories lately too, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, that have been coming out of the woodwork that it's like, we got to include that. We got to include that too. But that's why I'm excited about the series. And sorry, I'm rambling now because I'm excited. But one last thing I want to say is we just got a huge milestone done as well. We've got a full edit of Bill Knott's entire story from the beginning to 1 year later. That was a while ago. Then we got Jeff DeProsperous' story completely edited. And now just about 2 days ago, I got Rancher Maggie. Her entire story is edited. And it's going to inspire so many people.
80?
What's that?
Rancher Maggie. She's how young?
84?
83. I think she's 84 now. When we filmed her, she was 82, just about to turn 83. And when we show the trailers and stuff like that, everyone always goes nuts for Maggie, who we can see here on the screen.
Woohoo!
You want to know something amazing? I would just talk to Maggie last night. I talk to her often. We talk on WhatsApp all the time. And she's going to Meatstock next year.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. It's bringing all the stories that humanity has been sharing. And to me, the real health and wellness guide is what you're doing for humanity. And I was in Columbus, Ohio at a medical investment summit with all the top investors of the world. And they asked me to go there and speak about carnivore. And it was really fantastic. They were open. And my comment was, so much of the world is working to get ready for all the sick people that are aging. And we're getting ready to sort of corral them in an institution. And I said, well, let's switch it around. We are actually inspiring a new way of taking them out of those institutions, getting all of us on the ground to help us become younger as we age, just like our good friend Rancher Maggie.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for that too, because I just think about, that's a sad thing to think about, that a lot of people are going to be going into assisted living facilities and nursing homes much younger than they should. And when you really sit down and think about it, who wants to do that? Who wants to have their children taking care of them? Maggie's children are not going to be taking care of her. Maggie's not going to be in an assisted living home having someone change her diapers. She's going to be thriving. And when we filmed her, Dr. Kilt, she said, people can make fun of me if they want, but I believe I'm going to live to be 120 years old. The only reason humans are dying younger and younger is from the chronic disease, from all this garbage we're putting in our bodies that we shouldn't be.
Well, this is interesting. So I think part of the plan is, and I don't know if you've interviewed, but I know others have, the team in Arizona that's working on bringing keto and carnivore into those retirement communities. But I think we think about re-inspirational communities, because people want to go and hang out with others like-minded, or those that are going to bring health and wellness to our latter years, and we'll be there to go and help the community and care for our brothers and sisters that need a gym, proper human diet, and inspiration, that we can all continue to make movies until the day we die.
Absolutely. Yeah, Hal Cranmer in Arizona, incredible. Adam's been talking to him, and we're hoping to include him in the series as well. Sending people home from the long-term care facilities by changing their nutrition. It's incredible.
And I think because our communities have changed, it really is, we want to build those communities where we can invite people in. We're going to help make them healthier. We're going to start participating in softball and soccer, in walking and doing many other things that are there to commune in a positive way, not go to be domesticated and housed until the day you're dead.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
we got a super.
Oh, go ahead.
We got Alia Wells, 40,000 COP. Alia, relax. Wow. 4 of my favorite people on the same screen. Alia is incredible. Thank you, Alia. Appreciate you. So we've got some comments and questions coming in, Dr. Kiltz. The title of the video was Carnivore Wins. How long have you been doing carnivore for, and what was your biggest carnivore win? And sorry, this is a long question, but my last question is, have you had any recent wins? Because you've been doing carnivore for so long.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. So I started in the Atkins world about 25 years ago. And then I found paleo about 20 years ago, and then keto. And now I had arthritis, psoriasis, bowel bleeding, kidney stones, migraines, depression, anxiety, inferiority syndrome. And literally I got better on Atkins, but I was exercising a lot, so I was still miserable. And then as I found paleo, I got better. And I found all these things because my patients 20 years ago were getting pregnant on paleo diet. As a fertility specialist, I'm like, okay, what do you do? What's paleo diet? And I dug deep into it, and I went carnivore nearly 15 years ago, and then voila, everything gone. And really, my biggest win has been this community of Dr. Nelson, yourselves, and others that we just keep on adding to the community. It's exploding. Carnivore. I was talking to Scott Everson. Is like the keto world where somehow carnivore is really the blossoming more than anything. But we accept everyone into the house, whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, pescatarian, or carnivore. But my biggest win is the community that I've come to rely on for my continued inspiration and daily health and wellness.
Love it. Dr. Nelson, what about you? What's been your biggest win?
Two numbers to count, but this year, the latest thing was I passed my driving license eye exam without glasses. So they took off a corrective lens restrictions I had for 40 years on my driving license. Now, it's not perfect, but it is better than before. And also my hearing, I just had 2-3 weeks ago a hearing exam. The previous one had been 2 or 3 years ago, and the hearing exam was also better. So
he keeps on calling me Nelly, so and I can't hear him, so
that is incredible. I have heard so many people talk about improving their vision on carnivore. That's just the coolest thing in the world, because outside of the carnivore space, you get older, your vision degenerates. It doesn't normally get better. And people have it in their medical records because you have to go get your eyes tested when you get glasses. I'm hoping to include that in some way in the series in the future with Dr. Lisa Wiedemann and have a whole episode on vision and vision improvements, because it's unbelievable. The people are like, oh, you just eat meat and it fixes your vision. Until you learn that, it's just another inflammation caused thing. Like you have inflammation, pushes on the back of your eye, can affect your vision. It actually makes a lot of sense when you dig into it. But that's really awesome. Jen, what's your biggest win?
I have so many, but I have to say, meeting both of you guys, I think that's the biggest thing. Secondly, I would say my swelling in my legs, that has severely gone down.
wow.
I have so many wins. I guess my third and most important one to me is my migraines are all gone. I have no more migraines, and I've suffered with migraines for the past 25, 30 years, and they weren't just little headaches. They were severe migraines. So
I was just telling last night someone about your migraine headaches, because someone I know with some severe menstrual problems, headaches, migraines. Well, two people I know. One of them, they took her uterus and everything out several years ago, cured her migraines, but she never had kids. Anyways, last night I'm talking to someone else. They recommended to this young woman in her 30s to remove everything.
wow.
Well,
And I was telling them about your migraines.
and I grew up as a child. I couldn't read, and I had terrible migraines for years and bowel problems, ADHD. I mean, it was completely crazy. And so I can tell you the migraines I lived with for so long, and it was one of those weird things. And I had in my bag for years, I had migraine meds, GERD meds, sinus meds. I had all these medications, and I did not realize how much I had healed until like 2 years later. I opened my bag one day, and all these drugs were in there, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't used those in 2 years, but I had sort of like not realized the dependency I had on those for so long, which was, again, we don't know what we don't know until we do something mighty crazy. And as an OBGYN doctor, I mean, I would do hysterectomies, oophorectomies, salpingectomies for pain of unknown origin, pelvic pain, for years. You know, people would they would come into the office, they'd be in such severe pain. We didn't have anything else to do. And some people got better, but so many did not. And I look back at what I had done in my standard medical practice. I really feel horrible that I didn't know these things years and years ago. I believe that in so many ways, so many women would not have suffered even more so, not knowing what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I know Dr. Barry's talked about that too. But now you guys are on the track and you're healing people, so you didn't know what you didn't know then, right? So nothing you can really do about it. That's one of the things I hear with a lot of carnivores too, is having regrets. Jen's had that too, not being around there for our girls, and we would have been able to do so much more had we known about this way prior. So, those are all great wins. Everyone post in the chat your greatest win on carnivore. Use hashtag ribeye. We're going to give away that Healing Humanity shirt. Everyone's probably heard my story here. My biggest win was overcoming depression, getting off all that medication. My other biggest win, though, like Dr. Kiltz, I'm going to copy him, is this community. For example, Papa Carnivore. Like everyone in this chat, this isn't flattery. This is just the truth. Papa Carnivore in particular, just great people. Papa Carnivore is in the community. He's a helper. There's so many helpers in this community that just want other people to find the healing they did. I think that's just a beautiful and wonderful thing. And besides my depression, the other big win I had was my heart disease completely reversing. I recently did a video, and I had so many heart tests over the years. I had 3 heart echoes. I had a heart catheter. I had a transesophageal catheter, and I had a heart echo after carnivore. And long story short, I compared all of those things, and it's completely crazy what happened to my heart on carnivore. I reversed my congestive heart failure. I no longer have a lifelong irregular heartbeat. All of this is in my medical records, but when I did that recent video comparing the old echo to the new echo, like everything related to my heart improved. A heart echo tests like 40 different metrics on your heart, the pumping volume of your heart, the thickness of the walls of your different sides of your heart. Every single one of my metrics on there improved after going carnivore. Like my heart was actually growing because of the congestive heart failure. It's back to like a normal size on carnivore after 1 year on carnivore. I think I was healing 6 months into carnivore because I felt so good, but I didn't get the test until 1 year after carnivore. So that has been my biggest win, besides meeting all these wonderful people. Hey, we got a super chat from Nancy, $5. Thank you, Nancy. All the super chats I get on my channel go 100% to the documentary and the series. Question for Dr. Kiltz: can a hiatal hernia affect the GI tract?
Well, the hiatal hernia is where the diaphragm opening for the esophagus go down into the abdomen, where the stomach begins, can be open, and the stomach and the contents can go up into the chest, and so the hiatal hernia also kind of helps give a little bit pressure to the esophageal gastric sphincter, which kind of holds a little pressure and keeps the pressure of the gut into the stomach, not up in the chest. So, and hiatal hernia is basically chronic inflammation that sort of loosens those areas and builds these hernias. I've had umbilical hernia, I've had inguinal hernias, and had those repairs. This is just another hernia that absolutely affects our gastric function. And carnivore, in many ways, can heal for so many people. But there are some people that might still need some surgical correction, and I recommend you see a practitioner that will listen to the carnivore story a little bit and give yourself some time. That I think carnivore really helps. Did you have any other comments on that?
I've always had a hiatal hernia, had it since young. I've had 3 ulcers right at the gastroesophageal junction, right there. For some reason, the pain always is reflected over here, though. And omeprazole, Zantac, since they came out, have them in my medicine closets for the patients, but mostly it was Dr. Vasquez who was using them. Don't use them anymore. Enough said. It's gone. Not the hiatal hernia is there, by the way. It's an anatomical variation, and some people have more space on the diaphragm than others, but the symptoms are completely gone.
Amazing. Wonderful.
All right, we've got a question from our good friend Chris Stearns. Chris has been to a couple of our meetups, pretty active regularly, but recently have been way more achy and fatigued lately.
More ribeyes, more fasting, and take more naps. See, I don't label fatigue. I'll just say, wow, I need a nap. Go take a nap. I mean, look at lions and wolves, dogs and cats. They're always taking a nap. And I think we've been pushed to always be on, and that's where drinking energy drinks and coffees and teas and things, we've been duped that we're supposed to get to work, take your breaks, energy drinks, smoking and coffee, and basically you're exhausted in the day when if you just took a few siestas. I do 10 minutes, 1 to 3 times a day. I go through my meditation and prayer, my gratitude, and that helps me rejuvenate faster than anything else.
I have never napped my entire life until I started Carnivore, and I heard Dr. Kiltz talk about this, and I can't wrap my brain around it, Dr. Kiltz, but you're absolutely right. Just 10 minutes, rejuvenating. I feel a million times better, and if you look into it and you really dig into the research, that's what humans have really been doing since the start of time. It's very unusual that we have this regimen of sleeping for X number of hours and sitting under fluorescent lights in an office for X number of hours. So little naps are amazing.
And I also sleep less hours at night, and I feel rejuvenated in the morning. It's pretty amazing. And I've been off coffee, except I had some coffee today. And it was like, whoa, this stuff is like supercharged. And but I'm really good at being off coffee and having small amounts infrequently.
Nancy C has a question. Kerry, I heard your mom say she reversed her back pain with Carnivore. Can you share more about that? I have blown my back out. Yes, Nancy. So Dr. Kiltz, my mom has been Carnivore for 2 years now. My stepdad's Carnivore. We just had the girls graduated, the triplets just graduated, so we had a bunch of family over, and it was kind of like a little Carnivore meetup with my mom, stepdad, both my sisters are Carnivore, girls all are. My mom, I believe she's in the chat, Nancy, so maybe my mom can answer this a little bit better, but she had scoliosis, and she was going to need some sort of surgery, and she just had horrible back pain for years and years and just thought this is the way it's always going to be. And then she went Carnivore, and she's been Carnivore for 2 years now, and I think it was pretty quickly. Those aches and pains, including the ones in her back, just started to go away. And she feels like $1 million now. Like she doesn't have her knees. She had issues with her knees before and was going to need surgery on a couple of those things. And I don't know, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz, you guys probably know more about scoliosis. I think it's just when your back's bent. I don't understand. I'm not saying like she healed her back being bent, but whatever inflammation that was causing the pain, I think is what went away for her because she doesn't have any pain.
It's an abnormal curvature or on your back. It could be in an S shape, or it could be extra kyphosis and lordosis, which are the curves, the normal curves of the cervical spine and lumbar spine. But I was watching when she said it, and basically a lot of people that have a curvature on their back also have pain. Now, her curvature probably is the same that it was before. That's probably going to stay like that, but she has no pain. So she has no reason to worry about that, except she said 3 inches of height.
Right. One other thing she said was, so Dr. Kiltz, my mom met my stepdad because she wanted to go skydiving, and my stepdad was a jump master, and he skydived a couple hundred times. On my 18th birthday, my mom had me go skydiving. That was my 18th birthday present, and I was just under the weight limit. It was 220 pounds. I think I was like 218, and long story short, I came down really hard. But now Emma just graduated. She's about to turn 18, and she's thinking about going skydiving. So we got to see if Dr. Kiltz wants to go with Emma, my mom, and Dr. Kiltz. Have you ever been skydiving, Dr. Kiltz?
Not yet, but I would go with Emma. Absolutely.
Let's do
Absolutely.
it.
You know, why would anyone jump out of a fine, good airplane, they say. But that's on the bucket list. I need a Skymaster.
Right? Exactly. So when I get an invite to fly on Dr. Kiltz's plane, don't feel offended, Dr. Kiltz, if I'm wearing a parachute. All right? I'm just prepared.
I love it. I love it.
Target Prime Ribeye. Thomas, how's it going, buddy? He says, question, what do you four think of me drawing a cartoon of Dr. Baker as an 80s action hero? Love it.
Absolutely.
Go for it. All right, let's see. We got some other questions here. Sandy has a win. Her biggest win was swollen feet and legs for a year. Gone on the second day of Carnivore.
Yes.
Wow.
Love
Amazing.
it.
That inflammation goes away quick. Jen, your legs were swollen for 17 years since she had the triplets, and she tried everything. Doctors, pills, water pills, socks, all that stuff.
Yeah. Exercise, everything. Nothing helped.
Carnivore. Amy Haas, how's it going, Amy? Amy says, Jen, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to meet you in person. I hope to be in Wisconsin in July. I'm going to visit my family while I'm there as well. I feel like you guys are my family. Oh, awesome.
Yes.
That's the other one, all the carnivore family we get. I got to mention this real quick. So we have a meetup at the world famous Montello Theater. What is July 26th? Mm-hmm. And so you can get that at healinghumanity.movie/events. And Dr. Kiltz, besides the Boston one, there's more coming up, right? Syracuse, maybe?
A lot more. Syracuse. That's Ollie. She knows the date on that one. And
drkiltz.com or kiltmeetups.com. They're all listed there.
And it's MEAT ups, or is it
up?
But is it MEAT?
Kiltz meetup, MEAT up.com.
And what about the DC? Well, I hear them like there's so many. We're making sure we put all those in there. And if I can't make it, Dr. Nelson will make it.
You just confirmed an Ohio one, right? Columbus, Ohio.
I don't think that's been confirmed yet.
Okay, I'm losing track. I'm just like, if it's open and I can go, we'll go. It's so great getting out there and seeing all these people that are finding healing. If you haven't been to a meetup, I'm not trying to overhype it. There's nothing like it, right, Jen? Mm-hmm. You've fallen in love with the meetups recently too. Mm-hmm. It's just something, just getting in a group of individuals that have found healing and the energy in the room. And Dr. Kiltz is giving out hugs left and right. It's amazing.
And you might even win a Kiltz Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those, but I can always use more.
Yeah.
And always invite someone. Bring someone with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the most fun. The first meetup we did at Montello Theater, it wasn't a carnivore meetup per se. It was just proper human diet. So we had folks that were interested in keto, carnivore. We had a couple of vegetarians in the audience, and everyone was welcome. And we had a couple people that were they just weren't healthy. They weren't feeling well, and they wanted to know. That was one of the more fun ones. And we had a couple of people that actually turned carnivore, and we still see them, and they're doing carnivore. In fact, we had a woman and her husband come to the girls' graduation party that we met at the theater that went carnivore. I want to do more like that. I love all the meetups, but I think it's really fun when we can reach people that they're interested, but they just don't even know.
Even if it's two of you, get together and have a meal, and you had a meetup.
And it is true that many people will improve tremendously on keto, paleo keto, I think, add fat, eat less frequently, you'll feel better. But if you're really sick and you're not healing, carnivore is the game changer. And I think that's what you've been sharing, because so many people just don't get there. And those sneaky plants.
Yes. I'm really glad you said that, Dr. Kiltz, and I like the position you take on it. I think everyone means well, but there's some people that they say, well, everyone's different and you just got to experiment around. And I'm just an individual. I may be wrong, but I don't believe that. I believe that there's millions of species on this planet and every species has an optimal diet. Yes, we can tolerate other things, but I think it's important to make that distinction because like Paul Saladino's great, but there's so many people that I hear that they're like, oh, Paul Saladino said meat and fruit, and they go and try that and they end up failing, and it could take them down a road of months of possibly failing, maybe getting like fatty liver disease from eating too much fruit, or perpetuating sort of their sugar addiction. So people are like, don't be dogmatic. I'm not being dogmatic, but I do think it's important to let people know that I believe there's an optimal diet. And if you're very sick, which is like a lot of the people I talk to, if you're Bill Not 700 pounds stuck in your house in Alaska, or if you have horrible depression, I would be doing strict carnivore and then worry about those other things or reintroducing stuff later kind of thing. It breaks my heart when I get comments from people that have just yo-yoed and struggled for years and years and years because they went down the wrong path.
What's the best solution if you're struggling and you keep going down the wrong path?
For me, it's probably community. Mm-hmm. I think that's the missing piece for so many people.
That's what I was just going to say, yeah.
When you do this,
it's spiritual. It's a communion. That's what this is really about. And I would say that is the part that in medicine, it's listen to the doctor. We've got a piece of paper to tell you the right way. And yet no one's bringing us to a community. And that's what this is doing. And so the real healthcare is social media. And you need to become your own healthcare practitioner. And is there anything that people can do to get more knowledge about their health and wellness?
Well, do your research. Go to drkiltz.com website. Maybe you can sign up for the coach certification course that
and
we're
so
going to be offering.
We should all become our own coaches, but we're learning from Kerry and Jen, and we're learning from each other. And I always ask a question: would you take a Bible to war or Scientific America?
Bible.
Yeah. Tell your stories. Start where you are, small as you may be. Just start telling people about your story. If you had a success story, even if you didn't have a success story, you want to. I don't find that many negative comments. I don't know about you, Kerry, but everybody feels great.
Yeah. People that are doing it are overwhelmingly healing. And the thing that's so different with this too that I find is that ripple effect. You don't see that with like Weight Watchers or any other sort of program or thing like that. Like I was saying, it just blows my mind, this family reunion I have, and my mom, my stepdad, both my sisters, Jen, the girls, and then they're inspiring their peers and their friends. And then because it works, it starts spreading like that. The community thing too that you mentioned earlier, I think is so important as well. That's something that took me a while to learn, because when I first started carnivore, I was like, what's so hard about this? You just eat meat. But it's extremely difficult, and that was kind of a foolish thing to think early on, because you really, like any other sort of addiction that you have, you try to quit. People are there to help you. But if you're trying to just eat meat, everyone like, here, have a cupcake, have some of this, and you're just living in a world where you're really the odd one out. So you got to have that community is so important.
Sometimes we make it difficult, but it's really simple.
Right.
You know, it is really simple. Sometimes we dramatize it too much, and I cannot have this food or that food, but eating meat is really simple, and you should try it. 30 days, 7 days.
But we like variety.
We do. And I do too.
Except, have you asked your wife about variety yet? Whether or not you can have girlfriends on the side? It's deadly.
Sometimes
So-
it's very risky.
Yeah, oh my God. So
two Dr. Nelson's.
the same thing in our food, it's deadly for us. So narrow as an arrow hits the target every time. And carnivore is the kick-ass game changer. And if you go to your doctor and you're afraid to tell them you're doing carnivore, tell them anyway.
Yes.
Tell them. So they can get inspired by seeing all these carnivores showing up. And they don't need the drugs, the dissections. And maybe you'll say, hey, let's go play golf.
Yeah. I love that advice too. Especially, I told my doctor and he just said, interesting. And it was frustrating, but I'm still glad I told him because someone else is going to go in there and tell him too, hopefully. And then someone else. And eventually he's going to have to start listening and hopefully change his ways and start addressing the root cause.
I have had the same reaction from my doctors. I always say my cardiologist I know for 29 years, that from almost the day I moved here to Florida. So he's seen me all through the up and down the way. Never asked me how you lost the weight.
Well, my cardiologist, Dr. Berkery, was just curious. So I had a high CAC score of 700. I got my treadmill test. I passed. I got my CT angiogram. I had slight narrowing of the circumflex. Everything else looked great. And about a month later, he called me. He said, I've got another guy that I would like to have him talk to you about carnivore. So we've got to be there. And as we're there and they're noticing the changes that we're seeing, they're going to begin to pass it on to their patients. First, they're going to toss it off, not good. But eventually, doctors want to heal humanity also. And our job is to be there. Many of us have doctors. We go for lots of different reasons. And the more you're open, you don't have to say, I'm doing a modified Mediterranean diet. Carnivore.
Yeah. 100%. I was going to say real quick too, what you said earlier, Dr. Kiltz, taking things into your own two hands, that's the biggest lesson I've learned on this whole journey after interviewing 50 plus people. You have to take your health into your own two hands. You have to be the captain of your own ship. The doctors are there. Some of these doctors see like 100 people in a day. They don't have time to take your health issue into their hands. You have to take it into your own two hands and do your own research. So,
Dr. Kiltz, do you need your doctor's permission to change your diet?
Well, I thought I did, and that's how I was trained. We need to consult with our doctors before we make our change. But in fact, who's in charge of our healthcare? We are. And so I've learned over the years that the advice I've been given hasn't been working. So now I listen to Dr. Nelson.
Sometimes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of doctors, Catherine says, Dr. Kiltz, my doctor ordered a hysterectomy like you recommended.
Hysteroscopy, a look inside.
Oh,
hysteroscopy is a look inside because we're looking inside for scar tissue, polyps, and maybe small fibroids that we can resect and remove, because goitrogenic foods, just look up goitrogenic foods. I call them tumorgenic foods. Basically, the plants cause tumors in our thyroid gland and dysfunction. Well, it actually damages every single cell of our body. And when you realize that the healthy diet we're taught to eat causes tumors everywhere, the uterus tends to be a very common place for disease. And think of all the young women, young girls, endometriosis, pelvic pain, polycystic ovarian syndrome, not ovulating, not menstruating, heavy bleeding. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and it's all secondary to plant protein, low-fat diet.
Hey, we got another super chat from Not That Anna. Thank you so much.
All right.
Biggest wins: normal blood pressure, lowered A1C, just general well-being, confidence, aching knees are better, sleeping's better. Love you guys. I started after watching Kerry's 30-day video. Wow, that's incredible. Congratulations.
Oh.
And thank you for sharing that good news. I love hearing those stories. It's nothing better than hearing someone found healing like that. That's incredible. All right. Nancy says, I have to tell you, this community of friends has been so incredibly important to me for the last 2 years. Love it. Thank you, Nancy.
And our brains, that's why it's, even if you're not commenting, you're just listening and watching. See, I think the mindset is the first thing. So immerse yourself into an idea you don't believe in. So I'm a vegan, vegetarian, or Mediterranean. I don't believe in this stuff. Now it's your job to listen and learn, and your brain is going to begin to mirror the neurons. You're going to be like, you're going to be listening to the lionesses and lions, and your brain is going to be like, okay, I understand now. And now I can begin to set the mission in motion of practicing what I've been learning that others are preaching.
Well said, yeah. As many of you know, it took me over a year after seeing him. I'm like, it's not going to fix anything. My migraines aren't going to go away. My period's not going to be any better. My moods aren't going to be good. But heck yeah, it was.
You know what's really funny, Dr. Dr. Nelson? I used to be the one that would never shut up about carnivore. Like, enough already. And now I'm like, relax, chill. We had a bunch of family over. I was like, you gotta pick your battles, honey. Come on, it's all right. You're not gonna
won anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing that they kept saying is moderation. They kept saying, why can't you just eat in moderation? I'm like, we tried that. How is it working for you? I'm like, okay, this is one battle I did win. So one of our family members said moderation. And I said, okay, so if you were, not you guys, if my aunt, if you were an alcoholic and you were sober for 3 years, would I just say, here, take this little drink? Just, it's moderation. It's not going to hurt you. So that's like you guys saying to me, take a little piece of cupcake or eat a piece of this. It's not going to hurt you. Just take it in moderation. She looked at me. She's like, kind of got it. So I was like, okay, so I won one battle.
Planting the seeds, right?
I got one.
We've got a question. Hashtag ribeye. We're going to be doing a drawing in just a minute for a Healing Humanity shirt in blue. How did you get Emma to go carnivore? Know a guy who needs carnivore. He is so mentally unwell but can't morally want to help him. I get this question often. Like I forced Emma to do carnivore. It was entirely her decision, and I probably pushed some of the other children a little bit more than Emma. In my brain, I'm like, there's no way Emma's ever going to go carnivore. She's vegan. She's the polar opposite of carnivore. And Emma was just so sick and suffering for so long, and her health issues just kept piling up. Her sleep got worse. Her depression was getting bad. Her acne was getting worse. And I think it was just the stories is what convinced Emma. Not me telling her the stories, but probably me nonstop talking about the stories and watching the stories on YouTube. And she starts seeing all of these and then the meetups and things like that, that she got to the point that she was desperate. But I think she saw enough stories of people healing the things that she was going through that she decided to give it a try. Also, the thing that helped her was just learning that we've been so misled about animal cruelty. Mm-hmm. Emma was vegan because she thought she was being cruel to animals by eating them, not realizing that many, many, many more multitudes of animals die from a plant-based diet. 70 million birds died last year from pesticide poisoning. We eat one cow we get from our neighbor, and we get hundreds of meals from that. I don't think there's a more compassionate way of eating than the way we're doing it. There's ways to do carnivore that aren't as compassionate, but that's not really what I'm advocating for. So
that was it.
I don't know if that answered the question.
I mean, ultimately, you have to eat something that was alive in order to be alive. And this is what nature created. We evolved eating meat, not eating plants. And you want to eat a live plant. The interesting part about it is they're the real predators and we're the prey. They're sentient beings. They're live force. They're a life force. And you're just eating poison. What poison comes from a ribeye steak?
Nothing.
Heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, cyanide come from plants, period.
Yep. So I hope that answered your question. Oh, the only other thing I was going to say is if you have a friend and you want to convince them about carnivore, I don't think you're going to convince anyone, but the best way to do them is to inspire them. So find someone that has found healing. There's so many good YouTube videos out there. Dr. Kiltz has been doing awesome, whole bunch of interviews on his channel. Dave Mack has over 1,000 carnivores interviewed. There's so many stories out there. The best way to help someone is find someone that can resonate with them. Maybe your friend's going through type 2 diabetes, find a type 2 diabetes story and share it with your friend. that's what we're really hoping to do with our series after the documentary is we'll have a whole episode. So if you have a friend that's going through cancer, here's a cancer episode. Depression, here's a depression episode with Dr. Georgia Eid and so on.
And like Emma, it was the stories that ultimately the brain acknowledged before consciously she realized it. You are basically what you think, and what you think is what you surround your brain in. Whether you're listening to it or not, the brain is mighty powerful. It knows what's going on in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she heard the stories of healing from you talking to so many people, but she also had a first row seat witnessing the change in you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. That's a very good point. Because when Emma tells her story, that was the other thing, was she was suffering from depression, which just absolutely breaks my heart to see my kids go through that, being that was my biggest issue. And seeing me overcome that, I think, is something that really convinced her also to give it a try. Now she's just going nuts too, doing her own thing. She's really she's been putting on a lot of YouTube videos, doing different recipes and talking to people. So and coming out to our meetups and speaking. So she's going to be speaking at the Montella one. I'm trying to get her to go to more meetups. Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson.
We'll invite her. We're going to have her at our Syracuse meetup. We'll get those dates and get her out here because younger and younger. We need to inspire our children. They inspire their children, their children, their children, and ultimately we'll build a healing community around the globe.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, in Canada, we had Mia, 9 years old.
Oh, yes. Amazing. A question for you, Kerry. To go on to YouTube and Google carnivore, is that a costly endeavor?
No. Yeah, that is what I loved about this too when I first started Carnivore, because I'm like, where's the catch? Where's the hook? What do I got to pay for? And I got to the end of watching a whole bunch of Carnivore videos. And I'm like, it's just free information. Like people are finding healing and they're trying to, I don't know many other things like that. It's usually a program or something you've got to pay for. All the information's out there. It's just free. I always encourage people too, because it's like, unfortunately, many of us, we waste so much time on these devices, scrolling and flicking and just killing time. And there's some really good life-changing information on there that's just free if you seek it out. So we got a question, hashtag ribeye from Tim. We tried your giant burger and smoked them. Thanks, Kerry and Emma. Oh, good. I don't think that was a question or comment. There we go. I smoked up a 2-pound burger the other day, and that was a good meal. Let's see. I think we got a couple more questions here. We're getting near the end. So, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, I'm going to see if I can find a couple more questions here. But what do you guys got anything big coming up on Dr. Kiltz's channel?
More stories of healing. We have.
Well, as of July 1, we'll have our carnivore course certificate coming out. The intention here is to give everyone the foundation of healing themselves and sharing the story. That's big. Certainly all of our healing humanity. I mean, I'm basically a groupie for healing humanity, and I'm inspired for what you're doing. And I've donated up to $100,000 for the healing humanity cause, and realized that these things, like making a movie, don't happen in thin air. And think of it, even if it's $5, $10, $1, or $100, or $100,000, we require investment to health and wellness.
We're freezing up. Can you guys still hear us?
Yeah, we can still hear you. We got you. You got us? You got us?
Still here?
Oh,
I think we're back. You froze up for a second. Or refroze it.
But it is critical. We're healing our brothers and sisters through the stories and investing in healthcare. This is the best way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You cut out there, but we heard some of it. But I just want to say again, thank you so much, Dr. Kiltz, for all your support. Literally, we couldn't be doing this without you. So we really appreciate you.
Back at you.
All right, we got just a couple more questions here. How do you guys enjoy mints? That's ground beef, Jen.
Oh,
Ground
so
beef.
what is that?
Is that's in England, right? Mince?
Yeah, I learned that out in England when we filmed our friend Lee Kopis, Ket Carnivore.
Oh, Ken, amazing.
We have ground beef all the time, right? That's one of our go-tos. Burger
That's
patties or ground beef.
nice.
I usually just have ground beef for breakfast. I'll eat it with eggs sometimes. And I like mine a little extra crispy, a little bit of butter on the end, and it's pretty simple. That's about it for me.
I'll take a pound and frozen and put in the air fryer and just black and blue it on the outside, and the inside's cold, and a little bit of salt and butter, an egg, boom.
All right. Let's see. We got one more here.
Nancy CS, can dairy aggravate arthritis?
Oh, here we go. Can dairy aggregate?
Yep.
Breast milk for a baby and meat off the bone for everyone else. It's inflammatory, right? But some people use
and some people can even react to eggs, but usually the red meat is not going to give you the same type of reaction. But yes, you can. Dairy can be allergenic to many people.
Yeah, I have. I've come across that quite a bit on my YouTube channel. People struggling, and it's usually dairy's at the root of it. All right.
although raw milk, raw cheeses, raw butter is healthier than pasteurized, and the same thing with meat. Raw fatty meat is healthier than cooked meat. So that's kind of an interesting one. And one of my favorite books in the universe, I highly recommend, Meat 3 Times a Day.
Who gave you that?
I don't remember. Let's see. Kerry, and Jen. But the story is simple. Meat should be the center of your meal, even if you're in the keto world, paleo world. If you just simply add more fatty meat and some organ meats, you'll be healthier than you ever imagined.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff. All right. Let's give away a Healing Humanity shirt. We got a whole bunch of entries now. 73 entries. Let's go here.
Whoa. Nice.
Here we go. I don't have the drum roll sound effect, but we'll be all right without it. There we go. The winner of a Healing Humanity shirt is Chow CEO.
Oh, I love the picture.
Little cutie right there.
Chow chow.
Congratulations, you've won a Healing Humanity shirt in blue, and you can claim your shirt by going to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway, healinghumanity.movie/giveaway. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. We're at the end of the hour here. Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, you guys are amazing. We love you guys so much.
You, yes.
I thought you were going to show baby Dr. Kiltz.
Oh, that's right.
No.
I can't tell you how many times I watched that. Yes, let's do it. Yes.
Should we do it or no?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
It's adorable, Dr.
Yes.
Kiltz. So I was going to show baby Dr. Nelson, but I didn't get it ready in time.
I love it.
Well, we got to have freaking frack together at one point.
Should we do baby Dr. Kiltz?
Yes, please.
Yes. And by the way, we're creating a Dr. Nelson hat
Oh,
with
I'm
Dr.
getting one.
Nelson and Kiltz Health or something like that.
nice.
So
Real quick, here's just a sneak peek at Dr. Hampton, because it's a close race, Dr. Kiltz. People love Dr. Hampton or Dr. Kiltz. It's almost a tie.
Food is natural, so it must be healthy, right? Wrong. Let me explain. Some people don't realize the sugar in fruit is called fructose, and it
So that's Dr. Hampton. I won't show the whole thing. Here's the newest Dr. Kiltz, and this was actually filmed when Dr. Kiltz went on a grocery store run with me and the triplets. I think we were in Texas.
Adorable.
Here we go. The adorable baby
Oh
Dr.
my
Kiltz.
You've heard it here that there's a new generation of plants that are laying eggs. And this is one of the rare eggs from a plant.
You are adorable.
There you go.
I love you. That is amazing.
The baby doctors.
Can we do one more, Dr. Kills? I love your, like, you have an accent, and the last part you say "gone," and I'm like, I say it all the time. Can we just do
Okay,
one
we're
more,
gonna
please?
end the call with 12 seconds of baby Dr. Kiltz. Here we go. One other Dr.
But I
Kiltz.
tell you, when I went carnivore nearly 15 years ago, and I'm going to be 70 next year, and I've never felt better. All the drugs, doctors, and dissections gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I love it.
Everybody loves Dr. Kiltz, baby Dr. Kiltz too. That's been a big hit. So awesome. Thank you guys so much. Everyone check out drkiltz.com. Come to one of our meetups. We still got tickets left in Seattle. And make sure you guys are all subscribed. Go check out Dr. Kiltz. He's been putting out some incredible stories of healing on his YouTube channel. Thank you everyone for joining us and for all your great comments.
We're all going to be there. We're looking forward to it. Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz, and come by, high five, fist bump, hug, and let's make sure we get a picture with everyone. Sharing this around the globe.
Absolutely.
See you in Seattle. Maybe you'll see Mrs. Dr. Nelson.
Oh, now I gotta come if you're gonna.
Looking forward to it. All right. See you guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
She's gonna be looking for yarn.
Bye.